got two people up here for an interview from IDES, Joe and Cole.
You're front and center.
Oh, I don't want to be front and center.
You are front and center, Joe.
All right. They're both with IDES, I think, an intern.
Yes, sir.
And somebody who trains intern.
Sure. That's a great way of saying what I do.
Intern wrangler.
Sure.
Well, who's been your favorite intern that you've trained so far?
I feel like Cole is easily the worst. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. I can't have a favorite intern. It's just like saying, hey, can you pick your favorite kid? We've definitely had some great ones. We've actually taken on 4 or 5 interns into full-time people that work there. So yeah, it's great. We love our interns, and we love producing them out to be great workers.
Okay, so the interns are a big help to IDES.
Yes, absolutely. Yep, we wouldn't be able to do. Most of my job as a volunteer coordinator, saying thank you to volunteers, for coming in and helping us do what we're doing. But we wouldn't be able to do anything without anybody that's come along our path. So interns, volunteers, we wouldn't be able to be where we are without them.
Who's your favorite boss at IDES?
Yeah, so this is my boss, Joe. He hates that title, but no, he's been really helpful. I've been here talking to the kids about IDES, and so it's been really awesome to email him and be like, kid asked this question, I don't know what we do here. And within an hour he responds, hey, this is how IDES reacts to this situation or that situation. It's been a really good dynamic. It's been awesome.
Oh man, you're getting questions from kids now. I don't know if I can live up to that expectation here.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see how it goes. But one of the big things, either of you, first of all, what is the primary duty of IDES, if I can put it that way?
Yeah, so our mission statement, IDES exists to meet the physical and spiritual needs of suffering people throughout the world in the name of Jesus Christ. Especially when I have kids in here, I'll ask them, what are physical needs, right? What do we need to survive? Food, water, shelter, sleep, warmth. That all is well and good. I want to take care of that. But the spiritual needs are a bit more harder to define, but there is intense anger and loneliness and fear and depression and addiction. And those things can only truly be conquered by our King Jesus. And so I want to give people food, but I also want to give them the living bread so that they can have those spiritual needs met. And so we're doing disaster response and all the other things, but the whole time we're showing them Jesus saying, hey, we can rebuild your house, but if you truly want your house on the rock, you need to go over here.
Okay, so when you do this, where do you go for, where does IDES go? I mean, throughout the whole world? To the moon yet?
Not to the moon. We're looking to do that here in 2026. No. So IDES will do a mission anywhere that there is. We have our 5 focus areas. We're kind of rebranding that, but we have disaster relief. We can't be the international disaster anything without that being in the forefront of what we're doing. Hunger relief, community development, medical, and evangelism. Evangelism not being the last because it's beyond that, but because it's the cornerstone of everything we do. So the only way that we'll go out internationally to do a project is if we can find a missions partner, or in the States is if we can find a local church that's going to be the actual support system behind what we are physically doing there. So like we are in Eastern Tennessee, Western North Carolina, and in a couple different places in Kentucky right now. And we have partner churches through each of those. And so whenever we're meeting people, we're introducing them to those churches and saying, hey, these are people that want to help. We want to physically help you, but these are the people that are going to spiritually help you a lot longer than we're actually going to be there.
With all the disasters in the United States, have you been out to the West Coast or any of the places because of the fires and stuff that are out there?
Yeah, so we haven't physically been there. We have partner churches. Again, we're always contacting churches. Right after the flood that happened in Texas, we're contacting churches, making sure that everybody that is even within our Restoration Movement Brotherhood feels that we have reached out, done our due diligence, but we always will find a church that's like, yes, we want to help these people, because that's what the church is doing, right? We'll and when it's that far and that different kind of thing, we're not really prepared for fires quite yet. Here in the next few years, we're hoping to build out to be ready to handle those kind of disasters. Right now, we're not, and so we'll send them finances to help them with that. Yeah.
Okay. Then do you have churches that will actually reach out to you then when there's something?
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll have churches, especially churches that we are well known through, that are partner churches with us. When something comes through, each and every year when Eastern Kentucky gets a stiff rain, most of that area will flood. Not like it's done this past year, but we've set up a ton of sheds down there because of flooding. And so, yeah, we'll have a bunch of churches reach out to us and be like, "Hey, we're experiencing this. Can IDES come help?" And so, again, we'll do what we feel God is leading us to, and we'll reach out. We'll send somebody down there. We'll assess that area and see how far IDES doesn't want to help. We always want to help. The tagline that IDES has is sharing help and hope to everyone. So we try to do our due diligence as much as we can.
Has all the disasters in North America, has that hampered any of the help throughout the rest of the world? Where are you going there?
No, right now, we're doing several projects through internationally. That is because the disaster department is just one department of what IDES is doing. So we have an international aid department that Glenn Shady is a fantastic representative of. So we've got several people that are always being contacted and contacting different missions orgs that are helping with those. So yeah, we're doing some flood relief in Southeastern Asia. We're doing some drought relief in Zimbabwe. And just a handful of other things, projects in open countries and in closed countries that we're always trying to share the gospel with.
Okay, hopefully I didn't miss something, but if I did,
Sure.
What is the difference between then the disaster and just the aid? Is it you sending people out there, or?
Yeah, so the international aid is right now all projects based. So we will be in contact and being contacted by missions organizations that we will send aid to financially mostly. And the disaster side here in the States is more volunteer based. We will send funding out. But most of what we're trying to do is get other people plugged into that. And I think that we've had, I tried to run a report yesterday if I had any time because so many different people are out, but we've had over 700 volunteers already this year, which is a lot more than we've ever had, which is stretching to me as the volunteer coordinator, but God didn't call us to become, fine with where we're at. He's asked us to stretch. So yeah, we've had over 700 volunteers, but we're looking to start a international volunteer program at IDES here in the next few years, and that will be a fantastic addition to what we're doing there. So, so the International Aid Department will be having volunteers, just not right now.
If somebody would want to be a volunteer on one of these disasters, what would they do? Just call IDES?
They could, absolutely. You guys could call IDES. I think that now that you've listened to this nice little presentation, you guys are all now going to volunteer. Eastern Tennessee, we are booked, or we're stretched out to the end of the year, rebuilding homes there. If anybody is wanting to or has people that are wanting to volunteer, you guys could call me at IDES, and I'm just going to point you to a website that handles all of that. It's ides.volunteerlocal.com, and that's how we facilitate all the volunteers. We track them that way, and we post up online. That's where we're having signups. So yeah, it's great, and but we're always fine to answer any questions that you guys have. Email or call. Generally, I'm always at the office, so if anybody has any questions, they're like, Joe, I don't know the answer to this, and I'll take them and I'll try to give them as much information as I can.
Well, I'm really good at taking a nap in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So if you need any help in that area, I'd be the
absolutely.
guy.
We always need help in the afternoons. Napping, absolutely. Yeah. Any skills or trade, we don't want to push anybody away because they don't feel like they are skilled or trained enough to do things. We have a couple licensed and very, very professional guys that not only know what they're doing, but they're great with people. I'm sure that we all know some contractors who are great at what they do, but they're not always the best handling people. If you understand what I'm saying, nod your head. If you don't, that's okay, because you will meet those people one day in your life. But most of our guys are really well trained and they know how to handle people. That's why we have asked them to come onto the team, because they are so great with volunteers. Yeah.
So, Cole, are you glad to be here at the camp, or would you rather be going out onto the field and doing hard labor?
Yeah, so I had some kids ask me over the summer, what disasters have you gone to? Because I would show slideshows and pictures, and they're like, were you there? Were you over there? And I would look at them and say, no, IDES didn't hire me because I'm really good with disasters. IDES hired me because I'm really, really good with church camp. Mm-hmm. So that is where my heart is. That is where my love and my joy is. And so they hired me knowing full well this guy exists to be sent and talking at campfires. That is why God put him on earth. And so I would love to go on disaster response, but all in all, I'm supposed to be at church camps.
Yeah, and he's really good at it. So we've done a great job. Yeah.
So IDES didn't give you that hat when you
No.
joined?
I tell some of the campers that I fought in the Civil War, and I got this hat, and it stops me from getting older.
Is that why every camper that I've met calls you old?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I didn't have any context to that.
There are campers that believe I'm 172 years old right now.
I just don't have any retort. It's just
Well,
nice.
I think it goes back to the answer to the first question, and you said he was the bottom of the list.
No, absolutely. That's not what I said. No. Cole is fantastic at what we've asked him to do. Yeah.
I think I remember hearing that somewhere.
Absolutely.
They didn't give me the hat, only the T-shirt.
Yep. Yes.
So, need volunteers.
Always need volunteers. Always. And even if you guys aren't like, hey, I can't go out on a disaster site for any reason. If you guys are wanting to come to IDES physical headquarters in Noblesville, Indiana, we have a couple bunk rooms up there, and Nancy always has a guest room that she's fine to have people come and stay with her. Shameless plug to Nancy. But we're always glad to have people come because we always need help at the office building as well. Building sheds, packing meals. We're actually adding on, which it's fantastic. And I wish I brought up some photos that we could throw up on the slides, but we're adding a 22,000 square foot warehouse, which If you come to IDES warehouse right now, it is a mess because we're actually over the weekend and into this start of the week packing 230 plus thousand meals in both Oregon. Ooh, there it is. Thanks, Zach. In both Oregon and Florida. That's why you don't have someone here that's a little bit more prepared or more skilled at talking to people. Because everybody's gone at the office. And not that I don't love coming up and talking to you guys, because I do. Yeah, so we're building a warehouse, so we always need help. We always need help, so if you guys are like, hey, IDES doesn't need my help, that's wrong. We always need help, and we're always fine to have people come and lend a hand.
I was in their office for 4 days. That's all the training they gave me, which was terrifying.
Whoa.
In those 4 days, there were 7 volunteers in the office, which was insane to me because I picture an office, it's full of employees. But yeah, in 4 days, there were 7 different people who came in, and they were building sheds, they were sending out letters, they were writing thank you cards. Anything and everything. I turned the corner, and oh, hey, this is a brand new person. Mm-hmm. It was really unique. I loved it.
And that was a short week. We generally have anywhere between 12 to 15 volunteers in the office on any given day. Now, sometimes it's more because we host Gap food packs. So we've had hundreds of people in for a day. So we're always, like I said, we're always fine to have volunteers come in, and they'll be greeted with a smile. So, yeah.
So if there's a church that would like to do meal packing, do you still go around and do that? And what do you need to prepare for if a church wanted to do that?
Yeah, so we've got 2 guys that travel full time for our food packing or for our food packing program. One's in Oregon and one's traveling back from Florida right now. But so they travel. They have a 26-foot box truck and a 16-foot box truck that they will haul all the things to your church. If you would like to host a food pack, there will be a conversation about how far you are away from IDES headquarters, which will kind of dictate how many meals that we would like for you guys to pack. Always welcome to pack more. Please always pack more, and tell Jody that you heard that from me. Because if he hears Joe said we didn't have to pack that many meals, he will come after me. And he has a black belt in karate. I just spent 5 years on Price Hill. So that's about all I have. I don't know, Craig. I don't know. I don't have yes, there it is. That's our new. So thank you, Zach. Hey, everybody, give it up for Zach.
Woo! He's
actually starting next week as our.
Zach is replacing me. I leave the internship. He joins it.
Well, yes. So Zach is starting a internship with IDES next week. So we're excited to have Zach, and he shamelessly threw up this Expanding Help and Hope photo for us. So right on the right, that big long building right there is our new warehouse that we are currently putting in. Yeah, it's fantastic. But back to your question with the food packing. So the area that you guys are located in, whoever wants to do this food pack, and again, we're fine to go to Oregon, we're fine to go to Florida. I've for 3.5 years, I was the food packing director. I was on the East Coast, I was on the West Coast. We're not shy of traveling anywhere to pack food. So we ask for a donation of 25 cents a meal. As far as food packs, that runs cheap. I don't want to be like, we're the cheapest organization to do this. I could say that, but I don't want to lead you guys on to believe something that you guys would be like, oh, I found an organization that does it for 24 cents a meal. Eesh. So yeah, but we just would like for, and everybody's schedule's busy, right? So we just need to get a time that works for both of us, and then we'll come out to the church and we'll pack food. We just asked the church for tables and some power to run some sealer stew and the manpower, and we'll bring everything else. We'll bring pallets, we'll bring the rice, we'll bring everything. Yeah.
So use like those sealer machine things that, so nothing comes pre-sealed. It's not a matter of putting a pack in a box. Somebody's got to seal
Yep.
the packs, put stuff in the packs. Well, put stuff in the packs before you seal it.
Yeah, so we buy the rice and the soy in bulk. So we get 50-pound bags of rice, 25-pound bags of soy, and then we weigh it out. So the rice is 9.2 ounces, the soy is like 3.6, and then the dehydrated vegetables in the pack are a lot smaller. But yeah, and we have a certain method of how we want that packed in there. But we put it in a bag. Everything in that bag is dehydrated, so that it'll last longer on, if it has to sit in port for some reason, we're not worried about it expiring or anything like that. But everything when they cook it, so they boil water, it's just like when you're making ramen noodles, you cut off the top, you take out the pack, you cook all the food, and then you put the pack in, right when you're done. I
have Gap meals right outside. Do you want me to go grab them?
Sure, if you want. Yeah, absolutely. So we, I just want to make sure the mic wasn't going to fall.
Okay,
So-
now you can say whatever you want about
Absolutely.
Cole.
So here's what I really need to tell you about Cole. Oh, Zach. Absolutely. This is one of the best times that I've had. Hey, we've already got one. Sorry, brother. I don't want to tell you that Zach beat you to it. But Zach beat you to it. So
I think it's good we're not going to be interns together.
So this is what one of our bags looks like. If you go out to our table, which is I'm sure where Zach got this from, or maybe he just keeps one in his back pocket for safekeeping. I don't know. Zach, I don't really know you that well.
That's his
Hold on.
lunch.
This is mine. This is the one I was using as an example all summer.
You can't know that, though.
I know that.
Oh, okay. He knows that. So there you go. So this is what our bags look like, and one should be on the table, as I have previously stated. And so each one of these is actually 6 meals because, like I said, everything in this bag is dehydrated. So when they cook it, it'll all expand out to be about 6 cups, a little bit more than that. You've got to put the right amount of water in because I've gone to churches who are like, hey, can we have some meals ahead of time so that we can make them to give out to people so that they can try it? And I'm like, yeah. So I'll walk in, and one of the churches that I go into, I kid you not, are cooking on a cauldron, like it's this big around, and this guy's just got water in there, and he goes, hey, how do I know when this is done? And I said, all the water should cook out. It should cook into the ingredients that you've got. And he goes, oh, well, I did lean heavy on the 6 to 8 liters. And I said, no, 6 to 8 cups of water. And he goes, oh, I'm bad at reading. And so he gets up, and we're packing with 40 or 50 fifth graders. And he's like, hey, was the food any good? And the kids are like, no. And it's like, of course, because he cooked out all the flavor. That's fine. But yes, so there is a little bit of science. And of course, like I said, I went to Cincinnati Christian. So not a lot of math can go into this. See, a lot more laughs are coming from this side. And I know why, but that's okay. Yeah, absolutely. Don't, Rob, don't. So yeah. But yeah, so that's how we do food packing, and so yeah, this bag will make 6 meals. Yeah.
And so those are things that normally go overseas, or do you send them even into United States?
We have tried to send them in the United States. A lot of the areas that we're trying to send them to are getting a lot of donations from Kroger, Meijer, Walmart, and so when people are like, hey, I know what Kraft mac and cheese tastes like. I've had Kraft mac and cheese before. It's really difficult to say, here's some rice that you have to boil water for. And they normally will lean towards that Kraft mac and cheese. We have distributed 1.5 million of these of the meals already, and we're slated to get another shipment of 130,000. Actually, the meals that are being packed in Florida are just going straight to Haiti. and we've got another shipment here in a few weeks that's looking to go to Liberia. So we've got missions partners all around the world that are receiving meals and are distributing them out to the needy. Yeah.
Colt, anything you want to add to any of that?
One thing I found that was really interesting is that when I got to IDES, I was sat down at a computer and told, here is every PowerPoint that every intern has ever made, go through all of it to figure out how you're going to present this summer. And one thing that several of the interns highlighted, and I talked to you and I talked to Jody England, who runs the GAP program, I'm like, I noticed that the food always looks different when it's cooked. What is that about? And he goes, oh, we intentionally made it a little bit bland so that we can add anything to it and it'll always taste good. So depending on where you're at, it will always taste different because there are people that add onions that are in season. I've seen it with peppers in season, chicken broth, actual chicken, beef. I'm partial to adding cornbread to it, but every single person makes it different. They add their own seasonings, their own ingredients that are in season in the area. And so I highlighted with the kids this summer that our God is really unique in that he's so creative, he decided to invent food. I would never have come up with that. If I needed creatures calorie in, calorie out, I would just say they absorb dirt through their feet, right? But God says, no, I'm going to make it hard, and I'm also going to make it enjoyable, and it's going to be an art form, and it's going to be beautiful, and it's going to be delicious. And it's really cool to see all of his image bearers highlighting that because they all cook it different. It tastes different in Haiti than it does in Malawi, than it does in Ukraine, than it does in Myanmar. It tastes different no matter where you go, and it's so, so cool to see that. That's like one of my favorite things about him.
Okay. Well, we're pretty much out of time, so I want to thank you both for coming up, and feel free to grab your bag off the stage there.
No, that lives there now. That lives there.
Zach can move it.
There you go. Yeah, he likes it.
Don't shrug. I think you deserve that.
Well, thank you both very much for coming, and I hope you can come back again sometime.
Yeah, and we'll be hanging around. Cole will be here all week. If you have any questions about the history of IDES, Nancy Jett is over there, and she is the resident historian of what happens at IDES. But I'll be hanging around for a few hours just to chat with anybody who has any questions more about what IDES is doing. Yeah. Thank you guys so much.
Well, I got a real good idea.
Okay.
We can play Stump the Chump, so come up to Cole and see if you can get a question that he can't answer.
I guarantee you can. If it wasn't on the 4 PowerPoint presentations I showed this summer, I do not know it.
Okay. Well, thank you guys both for coming up. So go ahead and everybody can stretch and